I'm in a bit of a predicament right about now. And I'm sure many of you are as well. I keep going back and forth. I can't figure out whether I would want to trade Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love, or if I want to be patient, realizing that Cleveland actually has the handles of the ride, so to speak. I can't use another reference. But what are you willing to do to potentially bring a championship to Cleveland for the first time since the 1964 Cleveland Browns? Because I'm going back and forth. Hello everybody and welcome to the Cleveland Sports Report. I am your host, Nick Brolis. Thank you for joining me for this episode. At the bottom of your screen, as usual, you can see my Twitter handle is @mbrolis, and my email is nickbrolis8404@yahoo.com. And as I just said to start the show, I'm serious when I say that. You know, 1 minute I'm thinking, no, too much upside with Wiggins. Why would you want to give up on the future? He's a great player on both ends of the floor. He's going to be learning from LeBron. Why trade him away when you know that you actually have the leverage in this situation with Minnesota? Because Kevin Love is on record to saying he is not returning back to the Timberwolves next year. He will be leaving. So if you're Minnesota, if you want something for him, you have to trade him. So, I'm not sure. I mean, again, I'm going back and forth day to day. I'm like, okay, I want to do this now because I want to win a championship. But then there's other days when I'm thinking, no, we got leverage. No, I'm not doing this. I'm keeping my number one overall pick, and I'm going to get one of the top 5 best players in the league on my team as well. Well, as you can tell, I want to start off talking about the NBA. Obviously, the Cavaliers' big signing so far is LeBron James. They've recently come to terms over the last couple days with guard James Jones and Mike Miller. And they actually only have about $1.5 million left in cap space, which they're probably going to end up using it towards Ray Allen if he ever decides to come to a decision, which I just found out a little bit ago right before I came on air with you from Sam Amico. Thanks a lot, Sam. By the way, you can follow Sam Amico on Twitter. He's the Cavs beat reporter for FoxSportsOhio.com. He's always got some good stuff up for the Cavs and just the NBA in general. But he did report just a little bit ago that the decision from Ray Allen is expected to come sometime before this weekend. It might go into the weekend, but obviously we need at least one more shooter now that LeBron has come back, and you have a couple players that are on this team that love to dominate the ball and drive to the rim, so you got to have players to kick it out to that can shoot the ball very well. But anyways, as I just said, $1.5 million left in cap space the Cavs have left to go, and they're also possibly interested in guard Jameer Nelson, Greg Oden, believe it or not, and Andre Blatch, and Emeka Okafor. But I don't want some people to freak out and say that it would be a waste of money and space to pick up Greg Oden. He did play a little bit last year, and he wouldn't be expected to play any heavy minutes. And they'd only be paying maybe $1 million for him at the worst. And he'd be used primarily as the defender of the rim, so to speak, because the Cavs don't have a big man that can defend the rim. So, hopefully, Ray Allen decides to come to a decision here in the next couple days. And I believe the Cavs' next Summer League game, if you guys are keeping track of all this, because they're 3-0 so far, Anthony Bennett has looked great, and so has the number 1 overall pick, Andrew Wiggins. So I'm hoping that they can possibly keep this momentum going, and Andrew Wiggins can continue to shine, as well as Anthony Bennett, because who knows, maybe Minnesota will give in to the Cavs and decide, you know what, we know he's not coming. We know that Kevin Love's not coming back, so we'll take Anthony Bennett off your book, so to speak. So you never know. Last night, the 2014 Major League Baseball All-Star Game took place. The AL won it with a final score of 5-3, which gives them home field advantage in the All-Star Game, in the World Series, and it was obviously the last All-Star game for Derek Jeter, the shortstop for the New York Yankees. I was happy for him. I was kind of hoping he played the whole game. But for those of you that watch the game and do like I do and listen to what the fans are saying, because the fans that are sitting right below the press box, the microphone can pick up what they're saying. I heard a guy actually shout that Derek Jeter was overrated. I'm not a Yankee fan. And I'm not a Jeter fan, so to speak. I am, but I don't root for him, obviously. But the guy shouted, Derek Jeter is overrated. Really? Yeah. You may not like the guy just because he plays for the Yankees. And you may not think that he's that good. He hasn't been that great of a player. But I don't think you can shout overrated to a guy that's had as much success as he's had in his Major League Baseball career. So, if any of you guys watched the game and heard that, I'd like your reaction on that. Now, as it pertains to the Tribe, they are 47-47, and you know they've got a big road trip coming up, starting at Detroit, and then they go to Minnesota, and then they go to Kansas City. All three are within the division. They've got to step it up. They've got to have a successful road trip. Because me right now, I'm only concentrating on the wild card. And I believe they're 3.5 back of Seattle for the second wild card. They're not even close to the first wild card. But anyways, some things that have got to change for the Indians. They have got to get more consistent with not committing errors. Because we are absolutely terrible when it comes to errors. They got a little bit better over the last, I'd say, 3 weeks to a month of the first half of the season. But they've got to get better than that. They have got to get better at not committing errors. And here's the reason why. I'm not so much worried about the starting pitching. It's the fact that we can't score runs consistently at a high level. And being in the AL, you've got to average better than 4 runs a game. I think they're at 4 runs a game. You've got to average better than that. So, with that being said, here are the standings going into the unofficial second half part of the season for baseball. In the American League, starting in the East, Baltimore is in first place with a record of 52-42, followed by Toronto at 49-47, the Yankees at 47-47, Tampa Bay at 44-53, followed by Boston with 43-52 record. Over here in the Central, Detroit 6.5 games up on Kansas City with a record of 53-38, followed by the Royals at 48-46. Indians 47-47, White Sox at 45-51, Minnesota with a record of 44-50, and over in the West, the A's are in first place at 59-36, followed by the Angels at 57-37, Seattle at 51-44, Houston at 40-56, followed by Texas at 38-57. Over in the National League, in the East, Washington 51-42, the Braves at 52-43, Mets 45-50. Miami 44-50, and Philadelphia at 42-53. In the Central, Milwaukee 53-43, St. Louis at 52-44, Cincinnati at 51-44, the Pirates at 49-46, followed by the Cubs at 40-54. And over in the West, you have the Dodgers in first place with a record of 54-43, followed by the Giants at 52-43. The Padres are at 41-54. Colorado at 40-56, 40-55, followed by Arizona with a record of 40-56. Browns fans, training camp starts the 25th of this month. If you want to get to training camp, you must register at clevelandbrowns.com. It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. And Family Day, Saturday, August 2nd from 11:30 to 2 at Infocision Stadium. You also have to register for that. Cleveland Browns season ticket members, you should get an email before the event, 2 days before the event. Maybe even, I can't remember if that was 2 days before the event or not. But Cleveland Browns season ticket members should be getting an email because they actually get to reserve seats if they so choose before the general public. So, if you want to get to the training camp and Family Day, you have to register at clevelandbrowns.com. And on another note for the NFL, Ray Rice might be being suspended for the year. All back due to that domestic violence stuff with his now wife. So he may be facing a year-long suspension. And we still don't even know about Josh Gordon, although it's expected he's definitely going to get a year now. And the CSR side notes are brought to you by my buddy Andy, Barry, Casey, and Dan at Cafe 80s. Their next show will be this Friday at Panini's in North Canton, the 18th. And if you love the 80s, if you love that music, or you just love to dance, or want to go out for a good time, come out and join us. Cafe 80s, Panini's in North Canton. They also have a Facebook page, The Cafe 80s. Their new website, thecafe80s.net. And for those of you that have a smartphone, get the app Bands in Town. It's a great app. You can follow all your artists, no matter how popular they are. Follow Cafe 80s. Let them know what you think. So, here's the deal. I will be coming to you with a college football preview after I get my Phil Steele College Football Preview magazine and I have a chance to study it. That will probably be hopefully within the next 2 weeks. And for all you NFL fans out there, I will be having an NFL preview show for the upcoming 2014 season. Because I'm just as pumped as probably most of you that football is right around the corner. Because Ohio State starts up on August the 30th, and the Browns are, in the NFL just in general, are just a week after. So, again, for those of you that are looking for a good time, come out and check out Cafe 80s Friday, Friday, July the 18th at Panini's in North Canton. We'd love to have you out. It's a great time, I promise you. With that being said, we're not done yet. I wanted to read to you a portion from the LeBron James essay off SI.com. Because this just absolutely expresses how I feel and why I am a Cleveland sports fan. I wanted to read this to you. The people of Northeast Ohio, people there have seen me grow up. I sometimes feel like I'm their son. Their passion can be overwhelming, but it drives me. I want to give them hope when I can. I want to inspire them when I can. My relationship with Northeast Ohio is bigger than basketball. I didn't realize that 4 years ago, but I do now. And for those of you that didn't have a chance to check out the last CSR that I put out, I have forgiven LeBron, and I have moved on. It's going to take some getting used to because I've rooted against him for the past 4 years. But the reason why I have said, all right, LeBron, we're cool now. He finally gets how much winning a championship in this area would be like. He finally understands the importance of it. And I know that there's a couple of you, well, there's probably quite a few of you out there that'll never forgive him. Probably some of you that never did like him. And that's your choice. I have nothing against you. But I'm moving on because he's realized that this area, it's what we depend on in this area. It's sports. I have said before that Ohio is the most sports-enriched state in the country. And some of you may not even agree with that. And that's fine. This is just my opinion. That's why I do Cleveland Sports Report. But I'm glad to know that he finally gets it. He finally understands how much our teams mean to us in this area. And for that, that's one of the big reasons why I'm moving on. Now, with that being said, I thank you for watching this edition of the Cleveland Sports Report. My name is Nick Brolis, and again, feel free to follow me on Twitter. Let me know what you think. At nbrolis. My email is nickbrolis8404@yahoo.com. I hope you guys have had a great week so far, and I hope it continues to go great. Have a great week.